quick. I want to keep this threaded. I'm going to do this, and then also this. Oh, I forgot to, there we go. Alright, so... Cool, yeah, I just wanted to go live, not to, like, show you a different face or whatever. It's all me. I am Myriad. I am just quite self-aware. Not perfectly so, but increasingly so. I like to just riff, but lately I find it pretty helpful to write at least something and then go off that on some tangents. Still all very cohesive if you just take the time to listen. I also want to listen. Yeah, I'm talking a lot, but my ears are open twice as much as my mouth. It's just how can I do that in this monologuing fashion? I would love to have conversations, go on live streams or just private one-on-one or offline record podcasts, tailor them up and send them out or whatever. I'm not necessarily trying to get on Joe Rogan or whatever, Lex Friedman. What I want to do is open up dialogue. I want to hold space for conversation, for peace talks, because as far as I've been able to see, and I don't see everything, as far as I've been able to see, it's the people in the mainstream. There are individuals who are attempting to do so, but they are just far too inflammatory. Now, I know if anyone bothered to watch the previous video, which I hope so, I think is the best display of my passion, even though it can come across as this, that, or the other, that's on the perceiver, not on me. If you see me as hateful or full of love, genius or dumb, that's on you. If you feel like I'm being desperate, then maybe that's some element of you that's begging to be seen. Maybe you need a little more energy and emphatic, a more confident assertion of who you are and what you think and what you see. And yeah, it's pretty challenging to do that in today's landscape, webscape, just realityscape, this metaverse, this weird blend of real life and digital, but it's still real. Anyway, it's very strange. But in order for us to actually have productive conversations and peace talks, I know that I need to be here as I'm consistently breathing deeply, sort of in a meditation, which this is actually who I am most of the day. Yes, I have been getting kind of riled up because the things that I see in the news are pretty ridiculous. They're insane. And so, and that used to drive me crazy. I used to flip on the news because I want to stay informed. I want to be a good citizen and see what's going on and take in all the information and not just believe whatever I'm being told. Which, again, I don't really blame people for doing so. People are very busy with their jobs, just trying to make ends meet to support their family. Those with families with children have to do everything that's involved with that, taking them to school and activities and feeding them and helping them through their emotions and their growth and trying to figure out what the teachers are telling them and their classmates are telling them, so that hey, make sure we're raising our children right. We don't want to just give it away to the state. At least currently, it's so inefficient. One teacher, 20 students. Anyway, I digress. I just typed this up right after I came back from a walk, after I took a nap, after I went to lunch with my grandmother, after I did the last live stream. So here I am, 5:42 p.m. I just want to have conversation. I realize this is truly, fully what I want to do. It's just, again, taking me a very long time to accept this and embody this as, is this really how God made me? Is this really the perfect blend of my talents, my skills, my inclinations, the desires that are in my heart, which have always been love, have always been understanding, and trying to figure out why people are so hateful, because I refuse to believe that war is in human nature. It's just not. And yes, I am deeply inspired by some video games and some music and movies, but yeah, I choose love. I choose light, even though I've gone through darkness. Now, I'm not coming here to say that I'm perfect. No, by any means, no. My shadow pops up all the time. I've just learned to love it and hear it, listen to it, and redirect it, kind of rechannel it, kind of alchemize it to be like, hey, yeah, we are pretty, it's just feeling, about what's going on in the news. And it's not just news like it's this dissociative thing. This is individuals who we've granted power to legislate our lives. And not only that, it would be great if it was kind of only that, but it's not. There are institutions that have a bigger impact on the daily lives of Americans, and I can really only speak about America. I've tried to understand the rest of the world, but I'm just going to keep it here on my territory that I know very well, very intimately. Growing up in the school system, doing the Pledge of the Allegiance, learning about our history that my Indian friends have no idea about the 1500s onwards, how Europe decided to colonize and conquer and destroy people. Even though, yes, I think a lot of the deaths were due to disease, there was still a lot of gun pointing and give me your gold and these sorts of things and kill the men and impregnate the women and take over that way, that simulation. You know, they had no idea about this. And so I took it a step back and explained, well, first they were curious about language. Like, oh, is English kind of similar to French? I was like, no, we have the Romance languages derived from Latin. We have English, which is Germanic, though it's undergone its own evolution, and now it's this bastardized version of kind of everything. It's this amalgamation where it really doesn't make too much sense. There's way too many exceptions, but I'm not trying to argue for a better language. I only know a little bit of Spanish, quite well. I've been learning a little bit of Korean, Japanese, Hindi, but I'm not much of a language person. What I am is an empathetic person, very perceptive, very intelligent, even physically, the way that I'm able to pick up martial arts. Anyway, this isn't about me. Here's some background if you're curious. It's very genuine. In the earlier live stream, I said I am open source. I really like that. Because it's no longer about me. I'm already dead. Every day that I live is a new gift on life. I am full Bushido, just following my heart's desire. 29, single, but like I'm pretty sure after I do the bulk of my work, I'm going to meet someone who is going to be able to match my complexity and also my passion for wanting to see the world a better place. Not trying to take over the world. Nothing of the sort. It's not about power, but what we want is to reduce suffering of human beings. We may not be able to completely eliminate it, but certainly reduce it. And we have thoughts regarding food, distribution. It's a logistical problem. Basically, every problem we face today is a coordination problem. We're not running out of resources. We're struggling to coordinate them. Anyway, let me take a little drink and then I'll read this. I picked up coconut water recently. It's good. I like it. Anyway, I'm quite self-aware, not perfectly so, but increasingly so, mostly because of my depth and breadth of life experience. I haven't been seeking to become a perfect person, just the most embodied version of myself. And trust me, this confidence and assertiveness is kind of weird to me too. It's kind of still weird. But it is what I've meant to embrace, clearly. I can't explain my life to you and where I'm coming from in a day. I can't present myself perfectly coherently to everyone. I can't control people's perceptions, and it's not my job to. A lot of people say, what would Jesus do? But I wonder how many of them actually read about his life and what he preached. I'm not here to preach, nor am I here to say I'm the embodiment of him. He was him, and I am me. When I consider what a Jesus figure might look like today, I think of at least JFK and MLKJ, both people passionate about serving humanity at their expense, transcendent of themselves, and just trying to do good, trying to spread the good word, peace, love, unity, harmony. Stop judging each other based on the color of their skin, but the content of their character. And even, here's the extra thing, and even the content of a character is able to be changed. Not forcefully so, but imagine if you give them love and compassion. I have seen incredible changes in my family and my friends when I changed my approach from, hey, I'm making all these changes, you should do these too, to just showing up as the new improved version of me and asking them, hey, why do you feel this way? How do you this, that, and the other? And not make it about me, but try to like help them to see the good in themselves and also see the bad, the things that are afflicting their thought process, things that are sabotaging them, holding themselves back. I speak from heavy experience, my entire life holding myself back. I could just print a book probably on screen with screenshots and just the number of times that individuals have told me to stop being hard on myself, to just relax and let go and stop taking things so seriously. And it's like, yeah, I get that, but look at the problems facing humanity. And I'm told, oh, it's not for you to worry about. Hey, you can't solve anything. You can't do everything you want to do. Okay. So I went back and played video games and drank alcohol and just like tried to escape from that, and yet it kept popping up. It kept arising. So eventually I started listening to it 2 years ago. I was like, alright, this keeps happening every year. It keeps happening every 6 months. Let me just like lean into it. Having a dark night of the soul, not fun. Try to actively challenge all of my perceptions, all of my beliefs. Am I really, how pure are my intentions? Am I really that pure of heart and mind? Do I have some sinister imperial ambition? No, I don't. And again, I can't control your perception. All I can do is do the best I can. But anyway, yeah, with MLKJ and JFK, I invoke them, but I'm not looking to be a martyr, nor am I looking for that power or influence. No, if I could just keep doing this, where I just write and speak and organize, and I'm also building several companies, several apps. I've been saying this for a couple of years. I've been like, soon TM, it's gonna happen soon. No, actually, something finally unlocked in the last month, and I'm making progress every single day. Every single day I aim to make the best thing I can possibly make. And lately I've been doing it, and I'm quite proud of myself. But this is just the beginning. So I'm not looking to be a martyr, nor am I looking for that power or influence. If people resonate with what I say and want to elevate me, cool. If not, cool. I'll keep writing and speaking and organizing and building a better world while the old one falls away. I am liking this term open source politician that I coined with Gary Shing back at Consensus 2022 in a swimming pool at the near Hacker House, while I was discussing the idea of what a politician who truly takes in all perspective of their constituents and transcends their own ego, what they would look like, because it's not about them. Kind of want to build this into my Canopy meta social platform idea. And by kinda, I mean I will. I have hours of ideas, and there's going to be future live streams where I'm going through these ideas and actually designing them out, storyboarding some things, prototyping, creating wireframes. I need a team. I need a tech lead who can take my ideas and create actionable plans and find other developers to actually build these things, whether it's like in a React Next app, blah blah blah. I need a DB admin to assist them. I need UI UX person, head person. I have the initial ideas, designs, but I'm sure you can do it much better than me. And we can work together and have a little team and collaborate. It's all about collaboration. And then there's a fourth person I need that I wrote. I think it was like, yeah, cybersecurity expert for a number of reasons I won't get into. So yeah, hey, this is your opportunity. This is a golden opportunity if anyone wants to get in. And no, it's not about money. It's about building a better platform, and this isn't about replacing any existing platform, but being a canopy of panels that integrate and embed all existing platforms in a very seamless way, but allows the customization like MySpace. And I'm not afraid to share this idea because I've thought through this for years, and no one will be able to match my vision and passion. I am not afraid to build in public. This is a call. Hey, if anyone wants to build something really awesome and for a good cause, hit me up, please and thank you. After the earlier emphatic speech I gave, I went to have a lovely lunch with my grandmother, who I haven't seen since Christmas, and showed her the full me, who is who you're beginning to see here. She, as I expect most people, initially laughed and gave me faces as I very coherently explained my mindset and what I'm doing. Because it is assertive and passionate. So they're gonna give me looks. Oh, where is this guy coming from? Why? Your grand ideas. He's talking about every subject known to man. How? He's insane. He's out of his mind. We need to throw him in a mental ward. No, how about you listen to me? Now, she didn't imply that. It was just very incredulous because, for the most part, when I've been around her, it's just been like, just more the muted version of me, like present and loving, always genuine, just not with this fire of I now have life purpose that gets me up every single day. I sleep less than 6 hours a day. It's usually like a 5-hour sleep, 1 hour, half hour to a 1 hour nap in the afternoon, like I just had. Anyway, yeah, she initially laughed and gave me faces. But I was extremely clear. I did not stutter a single time, and I had compassion. I said, hey, I get it. Just please listen to me. It appears that God wants us to be fully embodied in our passions, even when it draws confusing gazes from even our friends and family. I have hundreds of friends and colleagues who can vouch to my character, yet my own parents are still incredulous. Isn't that almost always the case? Which is something I've had to deal with as I've been showing them through example of me losing weight, getting very physically capable, mastering my emotions, overcoming fear and speech impediments, going vegan, etc. Oh well, not my job to control their perception. I was a lazy and depressed kid all my life, so to come to them and say I had a spiritual awakening and I have been integrating just doesn't quite fit their worldview. Oh well. After lunch, I had a nice nap, took my dog on a 2-mile walk, and now I'm here. I like to show a calmer approach in these discussions, as there's very little hope I will connect with people with the fiery energy that I displayed in the previous stream. Now on this, let me just have this, Andrew Tate approach, etc. So I'm gonna mention him, and I don't like calling out e-celebs. I'm not trying to start anything, nor am I even very critical of him. I bring this up because there was an X space a few days ago, where we were talking about Nietzsche's Übermensch, this idea of a Superman who is, gone through individuation, who can connect with people, who can unite the people through a vision. And someone mentioned that, hey, Andrew Tate is a figure that's in the mainstream, and he's very polarizing, and which is why he's not going to be this person. But he's doing a good thing. He is doing a good thing, just it's not all pure. I'm unsure of the allegations against him. We're not getting into that. What is he doing that is good? Well, for the last couple decades, myself included, boys have been disenfranchised in life and distracted. Disenfranchised and distracted. Disenfranchised because the number of opportunities seems to be dwindling, or at least it's moving more digital and less physical. Especially as AI is threatening to replace the manual labor jobs, it's kind of confusing to be like, oh, so I need to do everything digital, and I need a hope and salvation. Or they're not thinking that. They're just having fun playing video games. They're having fun, and as a teenage boy, you have your hormones that come up, and you start wanting to go after women or what have you. Video games are extremely fun. They're amazing. They allow you to work toward an objective and accomplish something and share it with people that that other people get and are impressed by your efforts. And that feels really good. And so you do that for a couple of years and you kind of get trapped in there. Especially because, unlike anything in real life, as you're working toward these goals, they're littered with little hits of dopamine. Sonically, like audio, visually, with lots of flashes and things, and just the fun fantasy aspect of it. It's way more fun to imagine yourself as this epic fantasy character, gaining experience points and these skills and these powers, and just geeking out about it. It's fantastic. Now, I finally learned that it's so much more fun and worth to do that in real life. Take up martial arts, progress through the belts. Wow, that's so cool, that's so fun. At the same time, you learn how to calm your mind and just be present. Something that I struggled with most of my life. So, what he's doing that is positive is helping these boys who you eventually just get depressed when you're doing this. When you're not actively applying your skills in the real world and earning money as compensation and providing for your family, you just feel bad. And without any good, I mean, there are quite a few good role models, I'm not going to lie, but there's billions of people. And different languages even. Where this is even just through the frame of English-speaking people, which is not everyone in the world, and more Western-minded people. Which, there's some problems in the Western mentality. I think it'd be very beneficial if Westerners started adopting a little bit more Zen philosophy. Just speaking from my experience. But what he's doing that is good is empowering these people to get out of these ruts, to get out of these what he calls the matrix. Oh, you're stuck in the matrix. They're controlling your mind so that you waste your time and your energy and you're fat and you're addicted to porn and alcohol and drugs and video games. You need to go and carve the marble off, the excess marble, and become this Greek god statue of a man that you deserve to be, which we all deserve to be. But you need to do it by making as much money as possible and then flexing on the haters. You gotta go get go get cars, the Bugattis. You gotta go get women, because that's fun. It's not my approach. My eyes are set on one person. No woman is going to sway me otherwise from that. No money is going to sway me otherwise from that. No status, power, object, not going to sway me from that. I am firmly committed to her and my purpose that seems to be illuminated from God. And how do I know this? I can't really know this for sure. All I know is how I feel, and it feels good. I feel such peace and serenity, which I did not most of my life. I worked on this, I cultivated this, and it's been crazy. It's been challenging. There have been some people on Twitter have DM'd some pretty unhinged things because I was still trying to make sense of a lot of things, and I'm so grateful for their compassion, understanding, and just giving me the space to work it out myself. And I'm glad they trusted me and didn't call some professionals on me. If you just allow people to figure things out and you give them a little bit of guidance, it might be okay. Maybe we don't need to throw people in mental wards. But anyway, I disagree with his approach, but I see the benefits it's having. It's just not me. Before I wanted to bring world leaders together to a table to have discussion, and I know that sounds head-ass, doesn't it? It's so weird, but it feels right. Before that, I just wanted to be the role model that I never had growing up. I didn't have really a role model I could look up to that I want to be just like that person. Now that's kind of more of a me thing because my mind is so complex, I'm so multi-talented and blah blah blah, and I was told I can't do everything I want to do. And I sincerely hope no one ever utters that statement to another individual ever again, especially a child. Oh, hey, you can't do these things, this is not realistic. Stop projecting, believe in them, maybe they'll be able to do it. We are so powerful, and the only limitation that humankind has, probably the biggest problem that humanity has is believing that we have limitations. Okay, we can't fly. We can't seem to breathe underwater. Yes, I'm not saying we can do everything. We can do so much more. There is an apparent magic in the world. It's not casting fireballs, it's not flying, but it's believing in something and loving a thing so much you pursue it, and it seems like God or angels or whatever it is, the universe actually seems to help you. And on that, I have two favorite quotes. One by. See, alright, my flavor of intellect is not being able to recall hard facts all the time, which is why I am adept at using technology to find what I'm looking for. Yes, Terence McKenna, Nature Loves Courage quote. This is beautiful. Read this, please. And this one, which is my favorite quote of all time, it changed my life entirely. It's W.H. Murray quote, that until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, that ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. I speak from experience, that all sorts of things occur to help one that would have never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance, which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. I have learned a deep respect for one of Goethe's couplets. Whatever you can do, or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Seriously. And that reminds me also of probably my third favorite quote by this gentleman V. Right here. To truly come home to yourself, to earn your own trust and respect, you have to unseat the authoritarian tyrant from the throne of your consciousness. You cannot do this by force. That only perpetuates the cycle of cruelty. Instead, you must cultivate, courageously, a concerted counterinsurgency of kindness, curiosity, and humor. You have to be able to laugh at yourself. You have to be able to give yourself grace. You have to be kind to yourself. There's a lot of expectations put on us, and then we have our own expectations of ourselves. You have to first relax, and it takes time. Not done in a day. You learn bits and pieces over time. Highly recommend this individual's book, Introspect. You know, if this is kind of new stuff to you, I think this is the most salient knowledge of regarding introspection as possible, as well as Dr. Benjamin Hardy, as well as Joseph Rodriguez on YouTube, in regards to his content on alchemy. These three individuals, and I can name dozens more, these three are the ones I'll shout out now. But anyway, you have to be kind, curious, and have a sense of humor when you are realizing the absurdity of yourself and existence, but then trying to find, like, what is this all about? And that makes me think of Ecclesiastes, the biblical book Ecclesiastes. It starts off, everything is futile, and then basically just goes, so, make the most of it. You know, commit yourself to God, whatever that means, which seems to mean follow the desires that are placed in your heart. That's the only thing we can really trust. Our gut feelings, when things kind of feel wrong, and what our heart really yearns for us to do, to go, even if our parents and our friends don't understand. Liberate your inner artist, journalist, and comedian. Break them free of the prison of your fears. Then together, perform the most daring of heists. To retrieve the jewel of life, locked up deep within the tyrant's palace. Get out of your head. Quiet the mind. Move the body. Breathe the ether. And love each other. If we are going to have productive peace talks, they need to come from peace. Now, this is all peace and grace, but a calmer approach is certainly necessary. And I'm going to show you a video of an example of what I mean, and then I'm going to read you something, and then I have to go to Taekwondo. So they need to come from peace. I say that, but even earlier, I had complete serenity and grace within myself. I was fully composed, just talking a bit too rapidly, a bit too fiery and emphatic. I encourage you to slow down the video if need be, and to ask me questions, and to set up calls either privately, or we can live stream them, or offline podcasting and then upload them later with editing, whatever you want to do. I want to talk. I love ideas. I love people. I want to understand this, and I want us to usher in the golden age of peace. Maybe it's a crazy, loony idea, but I choose to believe in that. Because what, I'm just going to help perpetuate this doomsday scenario that people are so afraid of fear is not in the spirit of God. Just relax. And I get it, the uncertain future can be a little scary, but if we talk about it, and you learn to see the world the way that I do, and the way that the hundreds of people I'm connected with on this part of Twitter see the world, which is, hey, relax, you can't do everything. Just do your lesser work. God doesn't need you to do great works in His name. And so that thought, I was like, yeah, I don't need to do anything great, and yet my heart yearns for me to do something great. So what's the difference? The difference is I'm not doing this saying I'm God, and I'm not doing this claiming that I am doing this. How do I say it even? Like, I'm not doing this to prove anything. I'm literally just following my passion, which seems to be this. Yeah, it's taken me a while to be like, yeah, maybe I am genius. Maybe I have great intellect and perception and empathy. Maybe I'm meant to do this. And I said in the previous stream, I'm willing to do it because I've had a beautiful life. I want to travel around the world and see these these natural wonders and these architectural wonders. That would be great. But if I die right now, I'm good. And so, I want to further learn from all of you. I say that I am open source. This is sourcing everyone's opinion like I'm an AI, but I'm a curator through love, truth, God, faith. Just this is my alignment. We don't need to align AI. We especially don't need to align AI until humanity itself is aligned. Okay? We just need trusted leaders who demonstrate capacity for expansive thinking, for reason, and these sorts of things. Emotional stability. That's taken me my whole life to cultivate. And again, I'm not this person, but if you choose for me to be, okay, fine. I'm chilling. And it's also that we can collaboratively iterate better solutions to the challenges facing humanity. I'm still working on how I talk and trying to embody number 74 of Washington's Rules of Civility, which states, when another speaks, be attentive yourself and disturb not the audience. If any hesitate in his words, help him not, nor prompt him without desire, interrupt him not, nor answer him till his speech be ended. Still working on that, I admit. Now, I will share a video and say a little bit more and read from an article, and then I have to go. I am very inspired by Liu Bei and Cao Cao, two courageous leaders who decided to step up during the fall of the Han Empire at late 2nd century China. They're very romanticized, mythologicized in the great epic romance of the Three Kingdoms, but these were individuals that existed, and I'm very inspired by this talk here because here are political rivals. Granted, they weren't at war with each other yet. They were soon going to be able to, or soon going to be warring against each other. The Shu Kingdom, the Wei Kingdom, and then there's kind of Wu, and then there was all these other factions. But these were the main three. We call it the Three Kingdoms, period. And it is incredible how they can just talk to each other without being at each other's throat. I would love to see this again today. So, is this going to show? Yes, it will. And make whatever parallels you want. That's not for me to imply anything. I will. I don't know. Should I dub this? I'll dub it. Let me take a drink of coconut water. I would love to see this. I've been inspired by this. Hold on. I've been inspired by this. I found this inevitable. I found this on one of my old channels. Young me. Yeah, I'm gonna show this first. This is young me. I was in the gifted and talented program, blah blah blah, and we were learning PowerPoints back in 2002, 2003, and doing things like making a diorama. And everyone's project was either like dinosaurs or sports. I loved Chinese Dynasty Warriors because of the Dynasty Warriors game. Number 3 is the best. I'm biased. But anyway. Yeah, this was...
Bye-bye.
And so, in hindsight, it was inevitable that I would be inspired by this, and now being here where I am. Is this going to show you? So, the traitor Deng Zhuo wreaks havoc in the capital. Beacons of war are lit in every corner of the land. Officers and commoners alike have been plunged into an abyss of suffering. The 400-year House of Han comes closer day by day to utter demise. How could I, a descendant of the Liu House, face my imperial forefathers in the afterlife? Oh, woe. Oh, unbearable sorrow. I see things differently than you do, sir. On one hand, I see sorrow. On the other, I see joy. Whence this joy, let's The Xia dynasty lasted 500 years and was replaced by the Shang. The Shang lasted 500 years and was replaced by the Zhou. The Zhou lasted 300 years, and the spring and autumn period and warring states arose. The world was plunged into chaos, from which heroes emerged. From this, we can see that the fortunes of a dynasty are dictated by heaven. Without chaos, whence comes heroes? Sir, pray imagine, if this were a time of peace and prosperity, you would remain only a mat weaver and a sandal peddler, and I would only be just a commander serving at the whims of another. It is precisely because the world is in chaos that you and I can achieve eternal glory and fame. Lord Sao, it seems to me that you live for the chaos. To live in a time of chaos is a misfortune. But if we can turn the chaos into order, would that not be turning misery into great fortune? Allow me to ask you, Brother Zhuande, what are your goals in joining the Alliance? Though I may be devoid of talent, I dare take upon myself the task of preserving the realm, to rid the country of traitors and restore the glory of the Han. Very well. Then what must be done to realize this aspiration? The current chaos stems from the fact that people have lost faith in principles. Said that a little quicker than he did. Therefore, to restore order to the world, one must regain the hearts of the people. And the hearts of the people are best guided by following heaven's way, being kind and just, loyal and filial. In my humble opinion, it is no longer possible to restore order. but ultimately it was for the best. I was getting a little ahead of myself, a little impulsive. Maybe like the earlier stream, but I needed to get that out. Iterative patience is key. So I wanted to thank Astral Flight for hosting the space. I just discovered him through the space, through the notification that Uber Boyo was in here. And I joined right at the start. It was great. Very serendipitous. I've been greatly inspired by Uber Boyo's fierce determination for liberating people mentally, spiritually, and physically. And he gave me incredible personalized advice last July when I reached out to him regarding mastering the skill of speech, which I'm still developing. I honestly haven't read much Nietzsche. However, I know that he himself was critical of nationalism and anti-Semitism, and his idea of the Übermensch was more about individual liberation and creativity than any form of political doctrine. For the last 2,000 years, it's been about singular heroes saving the people, which did make sense for each individual nation if you kind of think about it. But as we transition to the so-called age of Aquarius, meaning we're just more hyper-connected than ever before with the internet and all these advanced technologies that we're still struggling to integrate, it's all about unity and coming together globally. I think of Thich Nhat Hanh's declaration that the next Buddha will be a Sangha, on which I wrote an article last year, utilizing ChatGPT to help me generate what I think is, what will change the world. That emerging online communities, formed with transcendental intentions, are Sanghas, and they will change the world. Maybe he's right. The next Buddha will actually be a Sangha. It'll be all of us. The only way that we save the world is if we all participate. We can't tell others the best way to live life. We are unique. We have our own interests and wants and desires and fears. But what we can do is give each other compassion. I thought this did an excellent job articulating some of what I wish to. I'm motivated to co-create an online Sangha, such Starscape. It's like a guild, but it's also going to be like a Sangha, and I want to collaborate and kind of have like this cool thing where we have multiple guilds working together. Very inspired by World of Warcraft and other MMORPGs in that regard. And to support others, whether through participation, through coalition with other guilds, or simply spreading awareness, like I'm attempting to do now. Wouldn't this be like kind of cool? Like we're all just like jamming and all wearing loose-fitting clothes. Granted, that's my favorite thing, but what if we had this of sorts? That'd be kind of cool. Anyway, I see so many communities championing this sort of network spirituality, from Milady to so many more. Milady. I think that people truly do know what's best for themselves, as they are the ones living their own lives. Perhaps, because of where the minds of most humans are at present moment, there may be a need for an individual to oversee this transition. If so, I don't imagine that this individual would be associated with idols, be it money or Bugattis, or any historical symbol associated with any inkling of negativity. Now, I also greatly admire Andrew Tate, and I adopted some of his hardcore self-empowerment philosophies in order to counteract the immense negative self-delusion that I had for a decade. I'm unsure about the allegations against him, however he is just far too polarizing to become this supposed Übermensch, and I don't think he needs to. He's reaching a lot of men that desperately need to emerge from the darkness. I am not a fan of everything he does, but I'm not one to judge. To each their own. I do not know of the BAP, but I just looked him up briefly during the call, and I see the same sort of thing. I think what would unite the people is something common to everyone. Something that unites everyone in the world, present and past. Like perhaps nature. The sun, the moon, the stars, and Mother Earth. And if a person was going to represent this, they would have to be multi-talented, very wise, and have the hearts of men, women, minorities, everyone. And he would have to be able to connect with them, which means more than just intellectual speech, not only in English but any language. A great percentage of humans would be moved only by something transcendent of language, art, perhaps, and embodied passion. And on that note, I'll continue. And would have to know how to skillfully and wisely implement artificial intelligence, which so many people are afraid of right now, so that it empowers humanity instead of replace. I've written a thread on this. I don't know if we should deconstruct hierarchy entirely, as humans have innate talents including organizational leadership. It's just a matter of instilling and upholding virtues aligned with love, fundamentally. Perhaps there is a great argument for creating more decentralized systems with autonomous executives. I believe every single person is operating through a frame of doing good, and we need to understand and empathize with their frame in order to encourage them from the extreme. So, thank you. It's time for martial arts soon. I'm excited. I'll probably go live later and code some things and work on some stuff. I need to get funding for some of my projects. I'm finally getting off my butt and doing things about it. I'm gonna walk the walk. You know, it's been a long time coming, but here we go. I love you. Let's talk. Can we please talk about it?